Many people live in a world where the fear of the evil eye appears to be a superstition of earlier times. But is this really the case? Let's explore what this form of cursing really is and what this magical attack consists of. To help you protect yourself from the evil eye, we have created a khamsa, a traditional protective amulet for you. At the end of the video, we tell you how to download it for free, so stay tuned. Haganat ha-Nefesh, the Western path of spiritual self-defense. Ayin ha-Ra, the evil eye. 6 facts about the evil eye that you probably don't know. Point 1. What does the Bible say about the evil eye? Already in the Bible, the Ayin ha-Ra, the evil eye, is mentioned a few times. Do not eat the bread of one with an evil eye. Do not crave for his dainties. He that hath an evil eye hasteneth after riches, and knoweth not that want shall come upon him. In the first quote, the Bible generally addresses the issue of the evil eye and the danger of being close to or trusting someone who has evil intentions. This evil intention is described by the term Ayin ha-Ra, which literally means evil eye. From the second quotation, we see that the evil eye is also linked to covetousness for riches. One of the driving forces behind the evil eye is envy. Point 2. Midrash. The Midrash, the interpretation of religious texts in Rabbinic Judaism, also deals with the evil eye. There we find comments on the story in Genesis about Abraham and his wife Sarah, which deals with the evil eye that Sarah places on Ishmael, the common son of Abraham and his concubine Hagar, so that Ishmael falls ill with a fever. In this biblical story from Genesis chapter 21, the evil eye is Sarah's reaction to the resentment and contempt of her maid Hagar, who is very unpleasant to Sarah and threatens her position, as well as the assumption of a bad influence on her son Isaac. The evil eye arises from Sarah's difficult emotional situation, as it was actually she who enabled her maid Hagar to become a surrogate mother and who thus took this step, which was certainly not easy, although not unusual in that time and culture, in order to provide for her husband Abraham's offspring. Something, by the way, that was considered perfectly legitimate in that time and cultural community. Sarah felt belittled by Hagar and her son Ishmael, and feared that they would take advantage of the situation, which seems quite realistic based on Hagar's malicious behavior towards Sarah. The Bible passage says, "The child, too, he places on her shoulder, for Sarah had cast an evil eye upon him, so that a fever seized him, and he could not walk." Abraham grieved at having to send Hagar and his 6th son away, although he also recognized that Hagar has despised her mistress Sarah since the birth of Ishmael and is no longer loyal. However, in a dialogue with God, he realized that this was ultimately part of the divine will, and would not mean the death of them both if he rejected her, and that Ishmael would one day become an important man who would be the head of a clan. By a miracle in the will of God, Ishmael was saved, as well as eventually becoming the progenitor of the Arabs and representing the kinship between Arabs and Jews, and Isaac becoming one of the progenitors of the Jewish people. Point 3. The evil eye in customs. Just as the evil eye is already described in the Bible, we also find it rooted in the customs of the Jewish people. This is depicted in this scene from the musical Fiddler on the Roof.
Mama! Mama! Jente, the matchmaker is coming.
Maybe she's finally found a good match for you, Zeitel.
From your mouth to God's ears.
Why does she have to come now? It's almost Sabbath.
Out, all of you. I want to talk to Yente alone.
But, Mama, the men she finds. The last one was so old. And he was bald. He had no hair.
A poor girl without a dowry can't be so particular. You want hair, marry a monkey.
Even a poor girl without a dowry has to look at her husband sometime.
A husband is not to look at. A husband is to get.
But, Mama, I'm not yet 20 years old. I don't think I have to.
Do you have to boast about your age? Do you want to tempt the evil eye?
Here it becomes clear that certain behaviors can lead to coming into contact with the evil eye. Popular belief emphasizes that humble behavior prevents it and arrogant behavior encourages or challenges it. In the scene, spitting 3 times is observed as a protective act against the evil eye in popular belief. So we see that the concept of the evil eye describes a certain attitude of mind and is related to the ethical, moral behavior of a person. If a person behaves in a balanced and virtuous manner, he or she avoids unconsciously or consciously emitting the evil eye. If they behave modestly and appropriately, this can prevent them from becoming the victim of envy or ill will and from attracting the evil eye. The evil eye is also rooted in Arabic customs and is considered a danger to be exposed to or to attract. In the Quran, we find protective surahs to avert it. In many cultures, it is customary to wear a protective amulet, such as the hand of Fatima, traditionally also called khamsa, or in Judaism, Yad ha-Nefesh, hand of 5. It is interesting to note that the 5th Sephirah on the Kabbalistic tree of life corresponds to Gevurah, which means strength or power, and corresponds to the principle of active limitation, that is, the function of protection. Learn more about spiritual protection and self-defense in our training Haganat ha-Nefesh, link below the video. In the Middle East, on the other hand, a so-called blue eye or nazar amulet is worn against the evil eye. Point 4. The evil eye in the Kabbalah. What role does the Ayin ha-Ra play in the Kabbalah, the mystical and esoteric tradition of Judaism? Rabbi Judah Luv ben Bezalel, the Maharal, the famous Kabbalistic adept who created the Golem, writes, "The evil eye has within it a burning power, and man can be harmed by one who has that burning power, because this type of eye can burn like fire that burns." He also taught that even a lack of concern for another can be considered like an Ayin ha-Ra. Interestingly, this means that not only active, negative behavior can lead to the evil eye and the corresponding serious consequences, but also a lack of responsibility or compassion for one's fellow human beings. Point 5. The evil eye in Jewish law. The evil eye is also observed in Jewish legal philosophy. Regarding the law that debts are forgiven every 7 years, we find the following written in the 5th book of Moses, the Deuteronomy. "Beware lest you harbor the base thought. The 7th year, the year of remission, is approaching, so that your eyes will be evil towards your needy kinsman and give him nothing. He will cry out to the Lord against you, and you will incur guilt." This means that if someone does not wish another to be well, this is considered an evil eye. We have here another form of unbalanced behavior, namely stinginess. This can be the unwillingness to deny help to someone who is in need of it. Referring to the Jewish directive that debts should be forgiven every 7 years, it is considered an evil eye if one would be unwilling to support and lend money to another person late in that cycle, even if the risk of getting it back might be lower late in the cycle. Point 6. The magical view of the evil eye. In the Sayings of the Fathers, in Hebrew, Pirkei Avot, a tractate of the Mishnah, the record of the oral Torah, we find a passage called Ayin ha-Ra. In it, it is described that one should distance oneself from the evil path. Otherwise, it is equivalent to sending out the evil eye to walk it. In his commentary on the sayings of the fathers, Rabbeinu Yonah, a 13th century Jewish rabbi and scholar from Spain who dealt primarily with moral and ethical issues, writes the following about the aforementioned passage on the evil eye. Rabbi Yehoshua says, "The evil eye. Its explanation is one who is not happy with his lot and places his eye on his fellow who is wealthier than he, thinking, 'When will I be as wealthy as the great wealth of this man?' And this causes evil to himself and to his fellow. It is like the wise men of science say about everything that is his neighbor's. Vapor, Hebrew avir, comes up from that thought and burns the things that he puts his eye towards with an evil eye. He also burns himself inside, since he desires things, the thought of which he does not have the ability in his hand to materialize he destroys his body, as he shortens his spirit and removes it from the world." In the original Hebrew, Rabbeinu Yonah refers to the vapor that rises from his thought as avir, which can also be translated as air. Interestingly, in Agrippa von Nettesheim's De Occulta Philosophia, air is considered a term related to the aura of a living being. So the haze or air here can perhaps be seen in the sense of a negative aura. By the way, you can find more on the subject of aura in our video of the same name. You will find the link below. From a magical point of view, we can say that the evil eye is an astral energy, in the sense of the burning force that Judah Luv, the creator of the golem, spoke about. The source of this force is a negative and unbalanced desire that manifests as envy. We want to possess something that we see in another. The evil eye is directed at the one who is richer than ourselves. With these 6 facts about the evil eye, we hope to be able to offer you some valuable information from traditional sources that may not otherwise be readily available. In summary, we can say that the evil eye is by no means purely the realm of superstition, but a very old traditional form of black magic. It is based on ethically questionable values and attitudes, such as envy, greed, and ill will, which can be very real in their effect. Our next video will be about how you can protect yourself from the evil eye. If you want to watch this and other such videos, subscribe to our channel and activate the bell to be informed about new releases. If you want to be prepared for protection from the evil eye now, we will now tell you, as promised, how you can receive the Chamsa that we have designed for this purpose. In the description text, we have linked our newsletter for you. Subscribe to it and you'll receive a downloadable PDF with the Chamsa and some additional information in the first newsletter. For all those who are already in the newsletter, thank you very much. You'll receive the Chamsa for download with the next newsletter. If you would like to delve deeper into the subject and learn all about protecting yourself from the evil eye and other forms of negative energies and curses, our training in spiritual self-defense may be just the thing for you. For more information, click on the corresponding link in the video description, and also watch our trailer, which we have also linked. We would be happy if you support our work with your like, so thumbs up. And if you know of any local or other evil eye customs, write to us about them in the comments. We respond to every serious comment. Please note that if you think you have been the victim of an evil eye, we do not want to discuss the details here in the comments. You are welcome to contact our spiritual counselor if you would like a serious assessment. We have also linked you to our website for help with spiritual problems and for spiritual life counseling in the description text. We wish you all the best. Take care and see you soon.